Hi, so I'd like to talk about a video which I found really interesting whilst thinking about the Lucy Letby case. So this video is called ADHD Can Be the Narcissist's Worst Enemy, NPD versus ADHD and the Symptoms That Trigger Narcissistic Rage. The channel is called The Royal We, and it's this guy who's obviously had experience of narcissism, and he's very good at explaining things quite succinctly. He's got some very good tactics, and you know, what relation does this have to Lucy Letby? So if you broaden the ADHD out a bit and you just think spectrum disorder, that's where it fits in. So to get to the subject of the video, with ADHD there is a lack of attention, or your attention is chaotic, or your attention is all over the place, and putting a narcissist together with someone with poor focus, it's kind of a bit of a blowout situation. I mean, I have dyspraxia, and you know, I can attest to that. They just go completely nuts, and what he explains is that when your attention drops out, this is really, really bad for the narcissist, because they expect your attention on them all the time, or when they demand it. And they're used to be able to, you know, to controlling people's attention. You know, they might get them in a state where they worship them, or they're so scared they daren't take their eyes off them. But someone with ADHD, their attention drops in and out, for starters. They get easily distracted, or as in the case of autism, they're kind of in their own world. It doesn't necessarily mean they're distracted, but they've got their eye on their own things. And to a narcissist, that just equals disrespect. So where I'm going with this, I'm kind of thinking, well, how could this have affected you know, the social dynamics, maybe the workplace dynamics? Because Lucy Letby, she did complain about the atmosphere. It did appear there was a toxic and bullying atmosphere at the hospital, and you know, the doctors, I mean, they actually had to write an apology letter to her. So you know, if there was like a narcissistic injury, now you can imagine you know, people wanting to take revenge. So there certainly was one doctor who does seem to have been considered a bit of a bully, and there is another doctor who's come up for mention because of their mannerisms and you know, how they are. So is it possible? I mean, yeah, and anything's possible, but I'm just thinking in a general situation. So I mean, what could happen in a situation like that is you could get one person controlling the narrative, and that would be the most extroverted person, because extroverts have energy, they can keep going, you know, they can talk over everyone, they've just got the energy to keep up a narrative and to sweep other people along with them, and also you know, to I don't know about gaslight, but certainly to change people's memory of events. And I don't just mean the person that they're trying to bully. You know, it could be people that they want on their side, and so they'll retell the history in a slightly different way. Or remember when she looked at you with that angry face, when she might have just been concentrating or something. So, I mean, it could be, you know, a case that people ended up getting swept up in a narrative, perhaps. And, I mean, certainly when a group of senior doctors, you know, contacts the police to say, you know, we think there's a serious, I mean, a very serious crime going on. One of our staff is perpetrating, you know, harming patients. The police are going to trust them because they're authority figures, they're a group. So, you know, it's just going to gain its own momentum like that. So, I mean, that certainly can happen. And, you know, a narcissistic injury, that could just be like not saying hello to someone in the right sort of way in the corridor. I mean, it could be that you're in, you know, occupied with paperwork when someone comes into the room and you don't look up straight away. And, you know, it can be something so small as that can trigger this narcissistic rage. And you think, oh, right, so what happens next? Well, the next thing you could find out is money has gone missing from the till and suddenly you're in the frame for it. That's kind of what I mean by narcissistic rage, when they want payback, and they will extract huge revenge over tiny insignificant things, because, you know, they're not saying no, they're not saying hello properly in a corridor, or or whatever, you've made the wrong eye contact or whatever it is. That will just be a huge transgression in their eyes, and it must be punished. And you know, narcissistic rage, it does have a tendency to escalate and escalate over time, as, you know, the person commits even more transgressions, often quite innocently, or where they're trying to not induce narcissistic rage. And what will a narcissist do? Well, they will do what you and I wouldn't even dream of doing. They will cross over every red line in the book. Will they sabotage accounts? Yes, they will. Will they tell lies? Yes, they will. Will they falsify paperwork? Yes, they will. Will they, you know, try and get someone to lose their job even though they could be out on the street and homeless? Yes, they absolutely will. You know, will they hurt other people in order to get to the target? Yes, they absolutely will. There is, you know, nothing they will not do. There is no boundary they will not cross. So it's just really to say, you know what, you know, and if you ever find yourself on the end of a narcissist, like, just just be warned, there is nothing they will stop at. You know, nothing is off limits to them, so you just need to be really, really careful. And in the workplace, a chaotic workplace, and as I understand it, you know, the hospital, I mean, it was struggling, it was understaffed, it was under-resourced. So a chaotic and under-resourced workplace, that is a breeding ground for narcissists to get their hooks into someone and to, you know, indulge in all the narcissist behaviours and narcissist rage. So I kind of really wanted to touch on, you know, what could the social dynamics be, what could be happening there. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next video.